Well, it doesn't seem to me that there is much in this report from Microsoft that analysts, investors aren't too excited about. It was a big beat here. Good news on the cloud. What's your assessment?
Well, they're great numbers, and it's the first year that they hit over $100 billion, and they went way over it at 110 billion, which is really nice to see. And when you look at all the different businesses, these are a bunch of $10 billion business chunks across the board. That's pretty impressive when you think about it. The PC numbers, everybody has been talking about the challenges in the PC market. We see that up. We see the gaming numbers up quite strong. Another piece of the business that a lot of people don't really think about when they talk about Microsoft. And yes, of course, the things that the street are looking at, the cloud computing numbers, everything from Azure, Office 365, Dynamics, all of these big cloud-based services that they've changed their business model to over the last several years are really kicking in. Now, there is some concern down the road that the law of big numbers starts to kick in and it's hard to maintain those kinds of growth rates. But look, right now, they're looking really good. Certainly in the near term, the forecasts were very strong for the first quarter as well. So I think shareholders should feel pretty confident right now.
Yes, it's interesting that you say there are some questions about how you keep this growth going. I mean, we were just looking at the share price performance there, up more than 40% on a 12-month basis. I believe since Mr. Nadella took over as CEO in 2014, we're looking at about 180% growth. Clearly, investors are happy with this company's transition, as you point out. But what do they have to prove to investors going forward to keep the good momentum alive here?
Well, clearly, they're going to have to continue to grow these cloud businesses. And look, the PC numbers, even though they're good, they're not going to last forever. I mean, the PC market's a tough market to grow a lot. Gaming is a very interesting opportunity. And by the way, we haven't really seen much of anything on things like AI and other kinds of services. Now, some of those are going to be folded into Azure. So you're going to see AI being delivered through Azure and other types of products that they have. But there are a lot of interesting software opportunities. I mean, down the road, they're even talking about quantum computing. They were one of the first companies to actually talk about doing real-world quantum computing, which is probably like a decade away. So point is, they've got a whole cadre of technologies that they've been working on that we're going to start to see play out over the next couple of years.
Bob, those developments you're highlighting there sound to me expensive. And when you consider that Microsoft is going head-to-head in the cloud space, at least, with the likes of Amazon, who has considerable financial power here, what does that race in cloud in particular look like between the two? Do you think Amazon holds on to the #1 spot for some time?
I think Amazon's got a pretty strong lead that's going to be tough to overcome in the near term. But when you start to think longer term, I mean, Microsoft is very strong with a lot of companies that are just now getting onto the cloud. A lot of more conservative companies technologically have always worked with Microsoft, whereas the more cutting edge, the web companies, they've been more of an AWS type company. So if you think about it, as the majority, that mainstream majority of companies moves to the cloud, I think you're going to have a lot of benefits to Microsoft because I think those are traditionally Microsoft customers.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.